Carly Mentlik is the founder of children's wellness company Inner Rainbow Project, as well as a licensed holistic psychotherapist with a background in progressive education, prana vinyasa yoga teacher, intuitive empath, and mom. Distilling ancient complex teachings into something creative and magical is a gift she shares and gives the Chakra Kids.
Thank you so much, Carly Mentlik, for joining us on AwareNow to have this conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Now, before I say what I'm going to say, I have to preface it by saying that I'm a huge fan of The Sound of Music, which is why I have to sing this, not say it. Let's start at the very beginning. Right?
Yes. I like singing. My friend and I will sing the end of our sentences, or absolutely. If there's a lyric that you can insert, you must sing it. Yes.
It must be sung. And so, let's start at the very beginning and let's do that when it comes to Chakra 101.
Yes.
Please, for those who don't know anything about it, what are the chakras and why are they important?
Yeah, so I've been quite fascinated with the chakras for a long time before I had any idea. That actually is quite normal, that people have a love for them, but it's like an intuitive sense or an intuitive drawing, and there's not really like what is that? So the chakras were first discovered, as far as we know, in ancient India, when yogis they envisioned chakras as energy centers along our spine, and they used the practice of envisioning them, visualizing them, and using sounds and meditation to help clear the energy throughout their body, so that they were able to. It was a daily practice of visualizing, helping go up your spine, and envisioning that there is energy that could be released and moves in flow. And so it gave yogis a daily practice of being able to relieve and remove. Release the kind of energy and stuckness that is natural to pick up throughout our daily lives. They're called samskaras in yoga. And it would help them be in the world as their true self. And so it was very energy based. It wasn't related to making positive, like there wasn't a connection to the mind. So way longer, 1900s, in the West. And so a psychologist, Carl Jung, they heard of this and they're like, we don't have anything like this in the West. There's no kind of stages towards becoming a better person. It doesn't exist. So he found out, okay, I'll pair the chakras with, along our spine, there's a root chakra. He paired those with psychological concepts. So if our root chakra is aligned and balanced, then we're safe and secure in the world. And he paired them so they became known with psychological concepts. So now in the modern times, they were also then connected with the rainbow colors to make it more understandable. So that actually wasn't something initial. So now the chakras are the chakra system is known not just as a body-based system to help clear your energy, but it's also used as a framework for being able to live in the world as your best true self. And so it gives you this organization of different kind of holistic categories. So you're not just like, okay, I need to feel empowered or I need to calm my mind. It considers all different aspects of you as a person and gives you a framework of like, okay, how do I know? So your other question was, well, who cares? Right? Like, right. You didn't say it that way.
Who cares about this?
Yeah. Right. Like, why is this helpful to us? So to me, it's like a map to your best self. So it gives you clues. So if you can connect with, just a real quick. So the root chakra is connected with security and protection and your place in the world. Sacral chakra is connected to creativity. And for kids, I like to teach friendships there because it's also about you kind of getting out into the world. the sacral chakra, which is, the solar plexus chakra, which is right in your belly. That's connected to power and feeling good about yourself and self-esteem. And the heart chakra right in, so you could see there where how someone could say, oh, we have an energy center in our heart. What kind of concepts, so kindness, love, gratitude, you can see how that's connected. Throat chakra, speaking up for yourself in the world. Third eye chakra is mindfulness, your wisdom, listening to your intuition, and crown chakra is connection to higher self and to the world. So if you have this ability to know, like, let me check in with myself, and you can learn how it feels in your body and what it might look like if these chakras are out of balance and misaligned. So then you're able to bring them back into balance. And so instead of kind of being like, I feel weird, and let me just see what to do, it gives you this kind of direct, like, okay, what's going on here? I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling worried, and that's connected with the second chakra. So then you have these tools you can go right to and know how to help yourself instead of kind of just being out in the world. So it really helps you figure out what you need to do for your own self to be the best, happiest person you could be.
Well, and I love that. I love the fact that it really speaks to the whole mind and body working as one, right?
Absolutely.
Like really bringing that, especially because so much of what we're thinking and what we're feeling is also ethereal. It's also, you can't touch it, you can't feel it, but if you could feel it, if it had a location on your body, it wasn't just out in the world, but actually something, that you could touch, that you could channel. Just what an incredible asset your chakras are. And so thank you for that 101, that crash course in chakras. The thing of it is that so much in life gets lost in translation. And it's not only when it comes to adults, it's for kids as well, of course. So I love how, Carly, how you were able to visually translate the chakras, embodying them in the characters that you created, which are adorable.
Thank you. I have a lot of fun with them. Yeah.
I can feel the fun that you had with them. Please tell us how these chakra kids came to be. How did this happen?
Yeah. And so you heard my explanation, and it's as concise as possible and as grounded as possible to something that, again, initially started, and a lot has to do with kind of intangible feelings. I work as a therapist too, and even just it's difficult to verbalize and to and explain into words what we're feeling inside of our body. So that's also always been something that I'm interested in, like, how can we, create this representation? So the chakra kids, I've always been into characters. So like, I loved the Strawberry Shortcake, Rainbow Bright, all of those. And they were all their own little worlds to me growing up. And so when I started to learn about the chakras and imagine how can I bring these, like I said, complex concepts where it's like, what is that? Is it in my body? Is it, what are you talking about? How can I anthropomorphize, like how can I put that into something tangible and something relatable too? Because mental health overall is something that there's still so much change over time. There has been positive change, but it's still something that there's a stigma around. And it's still something that even I would experience it, witnessing it with my daughter when she was like 2 years old, even to have a difficult emotion and kind of just have some instinct to hide it or to not have it. And so the part of the reason for the characters is to help these concepts and the idea of working through your emotions, working on being your best self on purpose, could even be relatable and fun. And then I use my kind of knowledge and connection of like the little personalities and the characters and all of that. And so how can I translate these concepts into a personality, into so the chakra characters? So for example, like the root chakra, just to example, all of the colors, all of the elements, everything that they're wearing, all of their superpowers, all of their magic accessories, they all are some way to help you understand that chakra and how it can help you in your life. So initially I envisioned them, they were going to be chakra bears actually initially, so to the very beginning, and then I started to imagine, like, there's a lot more I could do with like the personalities and get in depth, because the same as people, the way that you might learn to balance your chakras, like the way that you might calm down, your tools might be different than mine. And so having the different characters, even the boy and girl, there's actually some non-binary characters, but even having the different characters within the chakra helps you understand this, like your path towards being your best self might be and look different than someone else, and that's okay. Other thing about the characters too is I think that a lot, or there's an attempt to normalize the shadow. So all of the characters, they aren't just shared with their person, like their the positive aspects of their personality. The challenges that they experience and the emotions that they deal with are all shared as openly. And so there's an intention on that part to help being able to use the chakras and just be open to different emotions.
Yeah, and I will say I loved that part of it, that you see what does this character struggle with? What is hard for them? And I think that's really important for kids, especially when they're trying to speak up about something that's bothering them or something they're frustrated with, to be able to say, well, it's like so and so, it's like this character.
Yeah.
It gives them someone, because again, it's because feelings are sometimes hard to put into words. If you can put them into characters instead, you know, which you've done in such a beautiful way. I think it's really, really important for our kids, a great tool to use. So personal question here. Do you have a favorite chakra kid? Is there one who's most like you? I'm just very curious.
Yeah, and I actually do. I have a quiz on my site for anyone who is interested in seeing which character is most like them. So all of the characters, actually, I have a certain person in my life that's who I kind of like, that's their essence, and that's who I model. So I am personally a combination, and the chakra girls were created first. So that's who I like initially identified with. But so Swati, the orange chakra girl, and Ajna, the indigo third eye chakra girl. So I'm kind of a combination of those. But then it's hard for me to say my favorite, because then, like, say the boy, the heart chakra boy is like modeled. He's not modeled, but he's honored. I think of him as my nephew, you know. So I'll have someone I love in my life, or my daughter's a lot like the green chakra girl, and a mix. So then I'll have some affinity towards them of like, oh, I love that one. But yeah, I definitely connect with the orange and the indigo personally. That would be like who I am like the most like.
Well, you know, and I'm glad that you brought up the fact that you do have on your site where you can take a quiz, like which chakra kid are you? And what a great way for us to just individually, not only as kids, but as adults, be able to say, you know, let me just pause a moment and reflect on myself and where I'm at in this world and how I show up in this world. And so I think it's really cool too, a really cool tool to have. You know, so again, love your website. You offer so much. You offer programs, a podcast. What I'm very much in love with is the free guide, 108 chakra balancing ideas for kids. I downloaded it. Okay. I read it. I love it. I love it. So Jack and I, my husband Jack and I, we are now introducing it to the characters, the concepts to our kids. So in addition to this guide, though, you have a book. So please tell us about Activate Your Inner Rainbow.
So that's my newest creation. I envision, I want to share the characters and make this chakra system as accessible as possible. And a lot of my background's in developmental psychology. So everything I create really has an ability, it's created intentionally. So a lot of different variety of ages can use it, right? But my curriculum was for like 8 to 12-year-olds, and can be used younger. So I really also had this, and I call them the mini mystics. So I envision like, well, how can I start to break it even farther, and bring the concepts to like the youngest, the miniest of mystics. And so I came up with the book. It all just kind of, know if I identify much with the word channeling, but that there really is, that's what it is. The whole book came to me at once. And so Activate Your Inner Rainbow is a way to introduce the characters and the chakra system in a really open and accessible way to even the youngest of kids, because you can relate to the colors as well, even just to get a sense of like, this color helps me feel this way, and so it introduces the characters, and then it's interactive in the sense too of where you have a chance to imagine what you would want to do with the character's magic accessory. And to me, that's really where the magic of the book is, because just let your children answer and listen to what they say, and it's going to give you a lot of information about like who they are, what they care about, what would they do if they could do anything. And so that's what Activate Your Inner Rainbow is.
Well, I'm very excited. Well, I will say I ordered your book and I cannot wait to get it.
Thank you so much.
You know, so for those unfamiliar with the term, as I was, of Lightkeeper, would you please explain that?
Yeah, so Lightkeeper is my term that I and I don't know if I coined it, but it's my term that I use for not only parents, but parents and anybody who is the guardian or the keeper of a children's light. And I don't mean keep, because everyone's light is their own, but you've taken on the role to support helping your child keep their light, their inner spark, alive and shining bright throughout their life. And so to me, it's a very sacred role that one takes, because you're holding space to allow the self-discovery, and it's not that it's so the light never goes away. So a lot of people, almost all of us as adults, I also am a therapist for adults, so I see that, I also use that as like, how can we help children? Like, how can we see what's going on with adults, and then what can we do to help prevent that in children? And so many adults are reclaiming their light. They're working on remembering their true selves. And so my vision and my dream and my goal is that won't happen to children in this generation, that their light will be maintained and they won't lose it and then have to go on a journey of reclaiming it. So Keeper is someone who takes on that sacred role of supporting that.
That's really beautiful. And it's interesting. I guess I never really thought about it that way. And you're right that so many of us as adults, we're looking to, in your words, reclaim that light. But what if we never lost it? Exactly. What if it stood claim to us? That's really, really powerful. So I guess my next and my final question for you today, Carly, is for those of us who want to be light keepers, but we're unsure of where to start. How do we begin to do that?
My answer is always the same, because you start with yourself. You have to start with yourself. I actually have an unwritten book, but it used to be a course that now lives inside of my camp program, called the Lightkeeper Sessions. And so one day it will be a book, but the Lightkeeper Sessions are really you doing your own self-care work, and looking into where have you lost your truth? Where are you most connected to it? Where are you most disconnected to it? And doing your own work to continue reclaiming that. Your children seeing you putting that effort in, caring about that, seeing you be vulnerable with your emotions, seeing you offer yourself self-care, seeing you with intention to speak to them in kindness, seeing you treat other people around them with kindness. There's nothing more powerful than that's going to help them get that message, even more than anything you teach them. All of my magical resources, any resources that there could be out there, not that those are not important. That's a step too, there is that, right. And that's what I offer, but it really is start with yourself. And I understand that can be challenging as a parent too, because it's not like direct. It's like, so you have to be able to allow yourself, and it's difficult to get over that. Like, I'm going to give myself permission to take care of myself, because that's honoring my child as well that is doing it.
The work I do for me is the work I do for my child.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, that's really powerful how you said that, because it does make me think the fact that we work so hard on molding our children, and to your point, the best way perhaps to mold them is to model for them. And well, you're just full of all kinds of insights today, Carly.
Thanks so much. Well, it takes good questions to retrieve them a lot, so I appreciate that.
Well, I will say it is an honor to connect, to meet you. Proud to share your story, your chakra kids with the world, and just thank you so much for sharing your story, for helping all of us become a bit more aware now. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.